All right. Well, welcome to our introductory podcast. This is all about educating you and helping you to have a more successful beauty industry, to improve your salon, to learn about different aspects of the beauty industry and what is going to be most useful to you to increase your profit, to increase your customer base, and to increase the satisfaction of both your clients and your employees. So today we are with Pollyanna Sikieri Pounders, my wife, who has also been the co-creator of Mahokina Brazilian wax in Brazil for the last 20 years, over 20 years now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of wisdom inside her mind, and we're going to draw that out of her so that we can both learn together what it is that has made this business so successful and how you can implement it yourself.
Yeah.
So.
It's very good to be here. And the first thing that I want to address, it's like, are you gonna need some help with my English? So Eric, it's my translator too, right? He's gonna help me with this because sometimes I have such incredible thing to tell you, to teach you, and my English is not enough. So Eric is gonna help me with that. So I can guarantee you that you're in the right place if you want to have more profit, if you want to have more clients or have clients every day in your agenda every day. That's my purpose in life. Make people
a full schedule.
Full schedule.
Yeah.
You see, it already started.
So you've been in this industry for over 20 years.
Yes.
How did you get started?
So I think when we start in the beauty industry, it's the most, at least in Brazil. So I'm Brazilian. I don't think we said that, right?
No, and we're in Brazil right now.
So as a Brazilian, I think I was from a very poor family, and I didn't have some education. My education was very low. So I have no money. I have nothing. So the easiest way to start making money, it's in beauty industry in Brazil. It's the easiest way, the fastest way. We don't have to have all the certificates that it's a requirement in the United States. Is different here. So it's very easy to become a manicurist. It's a little hard to become hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
Was my dream, by the way.
To cut hair. Yeah.
Cut hair, do like style thing, all this stuff. And then when I start was from a place like I have not another option. Was like, are you gonna be a hairstylist or a manicurist or whatever it was involved in the salon. So I started to work with a person that was in the beauty industry like for 23 years already in that point, back in 2000. So he was already a hairstylist for 23 years. So I started there as his assistant. So, and I make, so like actually I make no money whatsoever.
You were an intern to start.
Yes, exactly. And it was smart though, because if I don't do it to learn with an experienced person that is there for 20 plus years, I need to go to the school, learn all the stuff that is like just theory. But there I was learning like in
hands-on
real life. Yeah. I was getting hair to do it. But the problem was he just had like a crash in his life. He was like almost closing himself.
He lost his clients.
He lost a lot of clients. Yeah. He had no money, and that was one of the reasons that he accepted me as his assistant, no payment at all.
Right.
For 3 months. We start there, and I fell in love with all this potential of making money so easily, you know?
The prospect of making a lot of money, even though he wasn't actively doing that, you knew that there was the possibility of it.
yeah, I just saw possibilities. Like,
Yeah.
this can be my way out of poverty.
Poverty.
Right.
This is your access point.
Yeah, so we start to work very well together. It became a relationship a little later, but we start to work very serious on the business. And I was questioning him like so much, why do you don't have more clients? What is happening here? He was like, he has so much knowledge. He have been in United States doing a lot of hairstylist certificate.
He was certified in the United States and many other places in different
France.
specialties.
Yes, he was incredible. And like, why you're not making money? And then later on, we discovered that that's a big problem in beauty industry. You are an incredible artist. You know everything what you're doing. You are deep down in that path of being a technician.
Technician, yeah.
And you don't have enough money. You have more certificate in your wall than money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Something was wrong there. Like, why clients not coming in when you have so much knowledge?
Yeah, so you were curious, why is it that
That
when
doesn't
he's
make
got
sense.
all that, he doesn't have a giant line of people trying to get
Yes,
haircuts from him
exactly. And he had once,
at one time, but it
one
was
time,
lost.
but something happened. It's like a roller
Roller coaster.
coaster in finances in the beauty industry. Like, that doesn't make sense. And I was curious, like, how we can improve it. And we started, and I was, how you say, like, when you hand
You were passing out flyers.
flyers everywhere, like, he's incredible hairstylist coming, but nothing was looking like really working, or was very slow. That was like almost like, oh.
So you were just, it was dragging. You weren't getting
Yeah.
many clients.
Until one day we had no money to pay our bills. Like, we were like choosing what bills we were gonna pay now. In this moment, we already was like living together. And then a client coming, we needed the money to pay our rent for our salon. And suddenly the light goes off, and I didn't understand what happened. We didn't need the light to do the hair of that person. And then was the company, the
electric
power
company turned off your power.
Yeah. But that was a pivotal moment for us, because there we say we can't live like this.
Yeah.
Or we give up in our dreams to be a salon owner, or we're gonna go to be an employee in some place else.
Something had to change.
Yeah, we
Was
are
it-
doing something wrong here.
It was an epiphany.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
an epiphany, yes. And then it's like, what we can do? Like, something that we never did. You already have so many certificates. I didn't, but I was following his path, right? And like, what do we don't know about the business? We don't know so much about the business, right? We don't know what it's profitable here.
Right.
We just go. It's so easy to get, like, it's tricky almost, because you love something. You love to do hair. We love to do like highlights. You love to do like straightening hair. You love to do a specific kind of thing. What you became like artist.
Yeah, your favorite type of hairstyle.
And then you think that thing is gonna make you rich.
Right.
And
But is it profitable?
That's the question. We
Yeah.
don't stop to do the
To
calculation.
really look at it. Yeah.
It's like, how long it takes to do this thing? It's not just the products, it's the time that you are spending on it.
Right. You spend multiple hours on one client, spending a lot of money on products and
And
to
you
do.
were kidding me.
And then when you look at the actual profit at the end of that time,
You keep saying, and the words that I keep like hearing was, I don't have money, we don't have money, but we're making money. Why we don't have money?
Yeah.
Like, there is something wrong with this calculation. But it's something very common. It's cultural for a beauty industry. I know another industry has the same problem when you're artist and you don't look the numbers and all this
Yeah.
stuff. But the point was like, I want to understand your past. So I got all his agenda. Do you know where you put?
Yeah, it's scheduling books. Yeah, calendars.
Perfect.
From previous years.
I think it's schedule books. And they're like, let's get in it. I want to see what is happening there.
Look at the history.
We have you had clients. What is happening? Can we contact them? Can you send letters? We are talking about like back 2000. We don't have
20 years ago. Yeah.
Internet. I didn't have internet at least, you know, and I didn't have phone, cell phone, anything like that. So I got all this schedule book and start to look at it. Like, what is the pattern? Like, what has more clients on it, more like consistent client. And he already had a lot team people working with him.
Yeah,
but was in a business model that wasn't sustainable.
Okay.
Was like everybody worked for the salon, was his salon.
Yes.
And he like kind of rented just the rooms.
Rented rooms or chairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And one point he had like this 10 people working with him until the day, like one Saturday, who is the working in beauty industry knows like how important Saturdays. It's very important to us. And then he was working, and then suddenly all the team comes to him and said, "We are not working with you anymore from Tuesday on." And he's like, "What?" So what happened? Suddenly he has like all these people helping him pay all this business expenses.
Right, the rent, the utilities.
Yeah, it was in a very nice place here in the city, Ribeirão Preto, in São Paulo. And suddenly he has nothing. He has just his...
Now just him in this big space.
He was screwed.
Yeah.
Like, and then he's like, what am I doing wrong? He didn't understand.
Right.
But I got the schedule book from that moment. Like, you had 10 people here. So you had clients. The clients was coming because something was happening here. So let's go back there and look what was happening. That's when I noticed one single person has like this full schedule. And I asked, what did this person do? She does wax. And I'm like, she does what? Wax. I didn't wax myself in that moment. I was like 18 years old. I just like use shaving, but very rarely because I had all these allergies. I couldn't do much often.
Yeah.
And then in Brazil, it's very important to do Brazilian wax, right? But I couldn't do because I was very allergic, so I didn't understand anything about wax or waxing. So I like, how so? She was so full. She was full all the time, and she used it to make her own wax and everything.
She made her own wax.
Yes, it was normal in that moment. In Brazil, was permitted. Nowadays, you can't do it anymore. You need
it's regulated.
Yes, it's totally regulated. But in that moment, in time, was possible to do it. And then we start to analyze that thing. Was something there?
Yeah, why is this one partner who is doing hair removal wax, why were they so successful? Why did they have so many clients consistently?
Yes.
And
he was like, he has scrambling like, how can I get more clients? And she had this full schedule.
Right.
And then that brought us some attention why wax was something to consider. And then here comes like our biggest realization, like that took us like almost 1 year to get around it. Because imagine, his whole life was about to become an incredible hairstylist.
he was proud of that.
Right.
He'd worked so hard.
And spend money and time
certifications, so he should be having an endless client list.
Exactly.
But it's not happening anymore.
Yes. And then, but now he was like, I want to accept this
Uh-huh.
realization that it's not the hair that you're going to bring me clients.
But
It's
the
the wax.
waxing. Mm.
So was difficult to get into it like very deeply. So we start to study it, and in the meantime, trying to bring clients with the other service that we have in the salon. Hair, manicures, that is another easy way to bring clients.
Yeah, manicure.
Manicure, yeah, thank you. So, but then we understand one thing. Let's imagine like that a pyramid. So when you're hair stylist or esthetician,
Esthetician.
it's a hard word. That
It is for me too.
so that's very common. You want to start here in the top,
At the peak, yeah.
right? So
Yep.
you are hairstylist. So that means that you have like the prices of the service is very high. You need like a lot of knowledge, right? As a
Esthetician.
esthetician too, it's the same. What is the problem when your focus in the salon or in your space in your clinic, it is here. You have like such a little amount of client coming every day.
Right.
Because how many clients need like desperation, has a desperation, how would say that,
Uh-huh. Continue.
to do like highlights in their
Yeah.
hair.
A need.
It is not that very like strong need,
Right.
So you need to have like a constant like trying to get new clients. And when you have like a client to do a highlights or something that is damaging for the hair, it's like you are asking your client to marry you. It's so risk.
It's risky.
It's like time consuming, it's money consuming, and you're giving your precious hair.
And you don't know if the result's going to be good. And you had a bad experience with that.
Right. So it's so many things to consider when you choose to be here.
To be at the top end of the pyramid.
Yes, exactly. So the amount of client that is coming every day is very low. That means that you are the main source of bringing clients because you are the specialist.
Right.
So it's because of you being an incredible specialist that's what happened with us. You have like a little clients coming to do manicurist and even less clients to do wax. It's not the primary thing.
Right.
What do we understand if we turn around the pyramid and put the wax as your primary source of bringing clients?
Yes.
Now you have a service that is a need. Why? Because it's about hygiene.
In Brazil, it's very common to do waxing versus shaving.
Exactly.
And because it's so hot and humid,
Yes.
it's much more of a need than in some other places in the world.
Yes. But then we found a problem, a big problem. We don't want to just have wax. We want to have the wax. The best.
The
thing.
best wax.
The best wax.
Because you had a bad experience with waxing. You're allergic to it.
I am still allergic about, like, my skin's very sensitive. I can't put, like, random thing in my skin. So we decided to create our own thing.
Your own wax.
One wax. So what happened, one day, my late husband, he had a dream about this wax that is like made with cacao and chocolate and all these incredible ingredients for the skin, and we start to make it for our business, for our salon.
Because at this point, you're already waxing. You're seeing money's coming in
Yes.
from doing wax.
Yeah, wasn't much. Something wasn't working too. Like, why is not working? The client's coming and not coming back.
And that's,
Staying or not being loyal. Like, something wasn't there yet.
Okay.
And then once we create our own wax, like with all these ingredients, incredible for the skin, natural, that it's like hydrate, very high.
It's hydrating. It's hypoallergenic.
Yes.
It's having all these positive skin qualities.
Yes.
Instead of the opposite, where normally you have a
Well, it's
potentially
just like
negative reaction.
most
It's
of-
almost like treatment.
Yes,
the
exactly.
skin.
Because most of the wax is just about like, okay, let's put this hair out.
Yeah.
And we didn't want that. We want something that was like incredible experience for the client.
Right.
And we did create that. The day that we create that and we start to use it, we start to approach the clients in a right way and talk with them, explain all the benefits of the wax and why that's incredible. I became the first wax operator
Right.
with Marroquina wax. What happened was I was like 0 clients basically for wax,
You started from nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
And in 3 months, I had a full schedule.
So as many clients as you could fit into a day all week long.
I
You were
was
full.
so full. Like I was working I started at 7 in the morning and goes on until 10
And one
p.m.
thing that the listeners don't know about you is that you're the fastest moving human I think I've ever seen. Like if we were to compare when we wash the dishes, if I wash the dishes, it'll take me a certain amount of time. It takes you about 1/3 that amount of time. In fact, it's so painful for you to watch me wash the dishes. You have to leave if I'm the one washing them. So when we say you had a full schedule, you had
was
a
insane.
very full schedule because you're able to move through a lot more clients than the average person would be able to do.
Yes.
And it was all from that shift of getting the new wax, getting something that was
and the
nurturing
new
for
the
the
new
skin.
mindset. Now you understand. It's way easier. I'm gonna explain that concept later on, but it's way easier to get clients to wax than to do anything else.
It's easier to get clients to come wax.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because they need. They need it. You know, they go to a date. They go to a party. They go to a romance, whatever.
Right, because the hair is growing. Like if you go 2 months and your hair on your head grows a little longer, no big deal. You don't need to get a haircut. It's not like
No.
the split ends are going to be out of control at that point. But if you don't tend to your body hair in that same 2-month period, then
And looks
something's
like
going on.
You are looking like dirty.
Yeah,
dirty.
I mean, if you choose to do something with your body
Yes.
hair, not everyone
Yeah.
chooses to do that.
Yeah. But here it's very common, right? Because of our climate and everything.
Yeah, and it's cultural. It's
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. But I'm seeing a shift happening in United States, so too, like
Even
in
more
this-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this point on, we said we stopped and said we are doing something right here. We have money. We are not worrying about I remember one day I did all the calculations, all the payment that we need to do for the business, and I missed something. He's like, why?
Did we pay everything?
Because we have extra money here. You know, I was like, I couldn't understand how it was even possible.
Right.
But the big thing that happened was I have my full schedule as a wax operator. And because my schedule was so full, I was be able to make I don't know how exactly to say that, but you make it better. We had to contract 5 manicurists.
Because you had so many clients coming in through the door.
Yes.
That you had the opportunity to sell them other services.
Yes.
And you needed more manicurists because there were too many people for one manicurist to handle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was 5. And my late husband in that moment has a little client, and now he has waiting list.
Right. So the wax service brought people into the door, and then now you've got an overflow of people wanting manicure and haircut, hairstyling services.
Exactly. And then we are doing something right here. This is blowing minds.
Blowing up.
What is happening here? And then we were consistent. Okay, So we will be able to do it to you. You did. We start with our wax and everything. Can we do it again with another wax operator?
So can you teach another wax operator to be
me.
as successful as you were?
Yeah,
personally?
like me.
Yeah.
Like I had no experience. I start from nothing. I become successful.
Yeah, you didn't have any background in doing this.
No.
Right.
And then we did. And we were successful again. But
so you hired another person,
one.
trained them
Yeah.
to be a wax operator.
Yeah. She delayed a little bit longer than me. Like I was 3 months. She was like about 5 to 6 months.
To have a full
full schedule like
Yeah.
me. And then we had the third. And like make the story short was like in 1 year we had like 10 wax operator
in your salon.
in my salon.
Wow.
That was like falling apart.
Before it had been failing.
Yeah, exactly. And then in 5 years we had like a millionaire salon.
You had $1 million revenue.
Yes.
Million reais.
Million reais, yeah. Million reais is different than, especially now. In that moment, it was the same.
It was closer in dollars and
was
reais.
one by one.
It was 1 to 1.
Yeah, 1 to 1. Yeah. In that moment, now it's different, but but like we found the solution. But we were doing it just for us. We were still making it product
You were making wax just for your salon.
in our house.
Yeah.
Was
And something happened.
made.
Tell them about the process of developing that. You tried a new recipe every night
Oh
for
my gosh.
for how many days?
Was actually years.
I know, but it was what 500 days.
Yes.
You did a new recipe
Yes,
every night.
every night. Like I wax all day long. Now I have like people to wax and receive feedback, right?
Right.
And then at night, like I say to Sid, that was my late husband, like there is something wrong. We need to improve this. We need to improve that. Like it is not getting like
it's not holding the hair well,
Yes.
or it's irritating the skin. And,
Exactly.
And so you just slightly tweaked the recipe.
every day. And some
Every
days,
night, yeah.
every night. Some nights, like 5 a.m., I have a client at 7. And we're like, this is not good.
This recipe isn't working.
I can't even possibly
Use this.
use this
Yeah.
in 2 hours. And we start again. So like we're going on like for almost 24 hours per day, like
for
1 year and a half at least.
yeah.
And then we found that clicked. Like,
got the recipe.
This is perfect. We don't
Change
move.
anything.
Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. And then something incredible started to happen. Obviously, in this point, we were like well known in the whole city. And my city, we have like a lot college.
Universities, colleges.
Yes, and then the students come from another state to study in our colleges, and then what started to happen? We start to receive a lot calls from another states. Like, I need your wax. I like, we don't sell our wax. You're kidding? No, it's just for us. No. My client just come here. She said that your wax is amazing. I need your wax. I want your wax. And then brought to us like, okay.
So your very happy clients were going back home to different parts of Brazil and requesting, almost demanding them wax to use your wax. And so now, instead of just producing the wax for your own salon, you're having demand from other salon owners.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we had no idea how to do it. But in that moment, like we were talking about 5 years later, we needed to make it like very professional and
Right.
with certificated, and like we were getting a lot of attention. Like the government started to come in our salon almost every day. Like, where is your license? Where is your wax license? And they're like,
Right.
we need it.
Yeah.
Why? It's so good so far. And then we opened a factory to start it for you and
So
all the certificate that it was necessary,
Right.
and to prove what we say. That's the most important aspect of
to prove what?
having a factory, is to prove that the benefits of the product that you were saying. Like I'm saying that my wax, it's 80% less pain.
Produces 80% less pain than
That is
comparable
serious.
waxes. Yeah.
Right? I'm saying that my wax, it's like so moisturized.
It's moisturizing.
Moisturizing, like in compare with the best lotion that you can use. You know, I'm saying all these incredible things about my wax, and now you go serious having a factory, you need to prove all that.
Yeah, so to have that tested professionally in order to support the claims that you were making based on your clients' experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had like this huge clients coming because we start basically from zero, and then in 5 years we had 5,000 clients every month.
In your salon?
Yes,
Wow.
5,000 was like basically 400 women entering our salon every day.
My God.
It was crazy.
Could you even have imagined that
No.
years before?
No, not at all. And then like that's the feedback that we were having. So we were sure about it.
You know it's a good product.
And then we needed to prove it. And then like, okay, at that moment my heart stopped to beat. Like, okay, this is serious now, because now it's laboratory.
A laboratory.
Yeah.
a
It's real, like people being tested like with the wax, like 30 days in their
on their
skin to make sure that it's hypoallergenic.
It's not going to
Allergenic.
cause allergies.
Yes, like imagine in 30 days my wax, like, my gosh, even Jesus Christ, in 30 days in your skin you're gonna do something.
Yeah, anything on your skin for that long should have some sort of reaction.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
No, they did like with this large, I think was 1,000 women went through this process of testing, and we have like one person that has like a little thing, and they said that's incredible, was like 100%.
Nearly.
Yeah, and they test like pain wise too, and how they did that, the laboratory did, they
Blindfolded
the wax, like they use different waxes in different parts in the same time, you know, and like then
to see what was the comparison in pain.
yeah, with a large people too, and
A
then
large group of people.
yeah. And then we received a certificate. Yeah, you can say what you're saying.
So all the claims that you were making were proven through laboratory experiments.
Yeah. We say our wax can be like eaten.
Eaten. You have stories of some of your clients who buy the wax for their own salons, and their children are caught eating the wax.
Yeah, Valentin is one of them.
Your niece is one of
My
them.
niece,
Yeah.
like I eat, like I do some lives and I do it.
But it's all food grade
Yeah,
material.
it is incredible. And then they tested all that too. I was so afraid, and like, my gosh, I don't know. You don't know.
Right. You have anecdotal evidence through your personal experience or from your clients telling you something, but to have it verified through scientific study, that's a big difference.
Yeah. And then we were approved with everything. And you want to. There is two paths that we could go. One was simple. You don't climb all this stuff.
You don't make the claims.
Don't make the claims.
Yeah.
And then you can start today.
Right.
Or you do the claim and you need to go to the test for 6 months.
The tests were 6 months long before you could get the results and start to say the same things again.
Yes. We were like prohibited to say it until our
But
test
you were
is
confident in your product, so you went for the tests.
Yeah. We want to, because what's important for our growth.
Yeah.
And since we are starting to sell it for the whole Brazil, like it's a big country, and like we have millions and millions of salon, and like we want to make sure that we were like doing it right.
Absolutely.
And then it's a big responsibility too. One thing it's heavy it in our control, and then wasn't in our control anymore. It's somebody else using our wax.
Right.
So we want to make sure that everything was in place for that. That was one aspect of it. And now we have everything. Took us 3 years and a half to have our final certificate.
Okay. 3.5 years from the time that you started the testing
Yes.
before you got the final certification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, a lot of things happened, but it can be another
Podcast.
topic.
Yeah.
And then before we start to sell the wax, we understand that it wasn't just the wax. It was the way that we manage our salon too. So there is 3 pillars that is very important. Actually 4 pillars that is very important to make a salon or a spa, whatever they call their space, beauty industry space. There is these pillars that we wrote down, like what really made us to be successful.
Right.
So we saw like this pattern, like it was 4 things. The first was the product. We have this incredible product that was tested. Everybody loves it. And we had incredible results with it. But the second thing is the technique to use it. We create a whole new technology to how to wax with this specific product, because it was different of everything that you can
Than all
do.
the other waxes. So you need to use different techniques to get the best results.
Yeah. Plus, the thing that is most different about it is, besides the technique, the product, everything, it is how you treat your clients inside of your room.
Customer service.
Yeah, because I went to like countless courses,
Yeah, training programs.
because now I was interested in this topic. Now I want to understand deeply about it. I was all of them. And then I noticed how they treat the clients, like, oh, don't worry, they used to say for the client, don't worry, we are used to it, your vagina.
Your genitals. Yeah.
Genitals, thank you. Your genitals, everybody's the same. And I'm like, I don't agree.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right.
Doesn't feel right. Like, I can't be treated like everybody. Everybody is different. Every woman's unique, and I wanted that they feel it in my table.
Yeah.
I wanted they feel like they are being respected. They are like, they put you in a position like you are
very vulnerable.
Yeah, like, what?
Yeah.
I don't want that. So I train all my employees to treat the clients how they want to be treated.
Right.
Like, you don't want to open your legs for this kind of, no worry, we have another way to do it.
So that you feel safe.
Yeah, you don't need to do this. Don't worry, we know how to address it. So I create all this process where the person that was in this table was like very comfortable with it.
Comfortable physically and emotionally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very vulnerable. Like, suddenly you needed to take off all your clothing. Some professional ask you to take off your pants, and I don't want to.
Yeah, so you found alternatives.
It's like, no.
More
like,
comfortable.
I needed to take off my underwear. Like, no, you can stay. Like, can I? Like, yes, you can. Oh, I'm like, no, don't worry. Just sit. Can you wax very well? Like, every single place.
With my underwear still on.
Yeah, like, I guarantee you, if I don't, you don't pay. And then they like, okay, I believe you. So then they start to bring me so much like clients.
They referred their friends because they had such a great experience.
Exactly. Like, they feel like home.
Yeah.
And that was my main thing. So that was the second pillar.
So outstanding customer service above and beyond what others are offering.
Yes. And then, like, all my employees was the same. If you go with one or another, they
They had the same
The same
training,
training.
so they're going to have the same experience, the
Exactly.
consistency. Yeah.
And the third thing was how to sell it.
How do you sell?
You know, I think you can do like a whole thing just
We could do
talk.
multiple ones
Yes.
just on your selling techniques.
Yeah, it's a lot to address.
Yeah.
And but the selling, if you think most of the professional skip that part. They think, oh, I am good, I'm incredible, I know what I'm doing.
I have great services. The people will just come to me.
That's not true.
Right.
That's not true at all. And most of them create this incredible environment, this incredible salon. It's like expensive stuff, and they don't have clients, and they don't have money, and they don't have anything. Like,
And they don't know why.
exactly, like simple. You don't know how to sell. You need
Sales and marketing.
marketing. It's so important. We never stop to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Until now. Nowadays we do so much. That's what basically what I teach. How to sell your service. People need to know that you exist. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you are just one more in the.
Yeah, you're just one more in the dictionary, or for those old enough to remember a dictionary, on the first page of Google search.
Right, exactly. So, and then that's very important. And some people come to me like, Poliana, I don't know how to lead people. My employees doesn't follow my lead. My employees doesn't listen what I say. And like, I can guarantee you, your problem is not your employee. It's lack of full agenda, schedule.
And leadership.
No, they don't have client enough, and
So
like
that's why they're upset. They're not making enough money because you're not bringing them enough clients.
yes. So now they have too much time, how to gossipy,
Time to complain.
to complain, to do whatever besides working.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, if you focus on, now you have incredible product, now you have like incredible
Techniques and customer service.
now you need to put people in this schedule,
Now you need to fill
right?
the client list.
And it's very easy to do it for yourself. It's very easy because you know how you treat your clients, you know how to treat them. But then when it comes to how I recreate this,
So you can fill your own client list, but how do you fill the client list of your employees
Yeah.
or your partners?
that's the big problem about leadership.
Yeah.
They don't have money, they don't have clients, so they're gonna complain about you. You're not a good
Right,
leader.
because why should they be in your salon and be paying you a portion of the money that they're making if you're not giving them clients? They should go somewhere else, start their own,
Yeah.
or work for somebody else who can.
We have employees that works with us like for years, like I'm talking about 20 years.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of leadership that I'm talking about, you know. So that's about sales still. But at one point you need to start like doing your job as a leader.
Right.
That's the fourth pillar, that like how I have an incredible team that can grow with me, that can like really be here and do all this stuff, like, you know, like we are going to the same place.
Wants to stay with you, because I know that a lot of people in the beauty industry, one of their fears is that they train their assistants or their partners and then they leave with all that education and wisdom that you've put all this effort into this other person. They leave and now start their own, and now they're your competitor. So how do you educate people on these great techniques, this incredible wisdom you've developed over the years, but that they want to stay with you because they feel safe and they feel like they're in a better situation with you and your leadership than they would be if they went and left on their own?
Exactly. And then we have the fifth pillar, that is like how to create process in our salon that allow you to be the owner but not the operator.
Yeah, so you're not doing the day-to-day waxing and other other things in the salon. You're the overseer. You're truly in the managerial position.
Yes, exactly. So once we understand all this, we said we can't possibly just sell the wax. We're gonna be like lying to them.
Yeah, and they're not going to get the kind of results that you got in your own salon.
Yeah.
So you needed to teach that technique as well.
Yeah, that's why we decided to do like a license business model, not a franchise.
Yeah.
And because it would be easier for people to start with us and learn all
And then
this
you can
stuff.
slowly educate them.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we do until now,
Right.
right? 20 years later, we still do it like a license, but we give to them the whole package. How they gonna wax in the right way with Marroquino wax. How they gonna have clients every day in their schedule. How they gonna have incredible team. How they gonna have incredible process that allowed them to be a one owner, not just the operator.
Right. And how do they get clients, marketing and sales?
Yes, exactly.
So you sell that whole package when somebody becomes your licensee.
Yeah, it's the main thing. Like some people say, I just want the wax, and they're like, you're not gonna be my client.
No, because you want somebody who's going to be on board with what you have to offer.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they can get wax somewhere else.
exactly. It's the same. You have a simple car, manual car, and then you have a Tesla.
Yeah.
How you gonna operate that? You don't know. You never
Yeah,
have.
you need to have the education.
You have to. Like, otherwise, better don't buy it. Otherwise, you're not gonna know how to use it properly or get the best benefits
And then
of
that's
it.
actually negative to your business, because if people are using your wax and promoting that in their salon, but they're not using the techniques that have produced such success for you, then that's going to diminish the brand because of the negative experience that customers would have going there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think for this podcast, we addressed a lot of stuff. It's a lot to think about, to process.
Yeah.
You know, like when we were like nothing and the transitioning.
To get to where you are today, over
Yeah.
20 years later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have like 15,000 licenses in Brazil.
15,000
Yeah, 15,000.
using your wax and your techniques.
Yes. And then around Europe, Japan, and Turkey. I'm forgetting
Portugal.
something. Yeah, Europe, and
Yeah.
then Japan,
And the United States.
so just in Europe, Japan, and Turkey, we have like about 100, 150.
Mm-hmm. People using your waxing technique.
Yes. And in the United States, we're like about 200 now.
Wow. So
Yeah.
already starting to build a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
going to be expanding more in there.
Oh, now we're
Yeah.
just starting. We start with Brazilians.
Right.
It's so interesting that because was Brazilian, most of them was our client, as like they go to our salon,
Mm-hmm.
and now they move to another
They moved to the
country
United States.
or whatever.
Oh.
And then like, can I be a wax operator? Like, of course. And they come, they do all the training, and they move out.
Right.
Yeah. And then United States, we have like a operation there, right?
Absolutely.
Where we are partnered there in that branch. So that it's just starting. We start off with Brazilians because it's so much easier.
Yeah, the brand recognition was there. They know how great it is.
Yeah, they already know Marroquina.
Right.
And it was so much easier. Now we were starting with Americans.
Yeah, now we get to educate the unknowing Americans about how great the waxing experience can be.
Mm-hmm. And how that can be like very sustainable for their business, like profit wide.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff. Like we're gonna go much deeper on that details.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that we've talked about is educating people who've always wanted to just do hair,
Yeah.
and then how much money they can start making doing wax as well.
Yeah. Not leaving their passion.
Yeah, they
is
still
just-
still can be the the famous hairstylist, but produce a lot of revenue,
exactly.
not using their own hands, but in their salon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's incredible, amazing.
We've still got a lot to talk about.
Oh my gosh, we are just starting.
Well, I think that's good for today.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure talking with you.
it was
as
a pleasure
always.
to talk to you. With
And
you too.
we look forward to talking to you again. Hopefully, this was educational for you, and there is a lot to learn. So we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye. Ciao.